Hello, very good afternoon to all of you. So, we have completed the Magadha Empire with respect to each of the dynasty, Haranyaka, Shishunag dynasty. After that, we have completed the Nanda dynasty and the Mauryan dynasty. Now, this was also the contemporary period of the different religions that were getting evolved during this period. Okay, so we have studied about the Buddhism. Now, this is time to discuss about the Jainism. Now, Jainism, unlike Buddhism, was not dependent upon the single person or the single individual, as Buddhism was dependent upon whatever ideas and philosophy Gautama Buddha would be preaching. But in the case of Jainism, we'll find that there are more number of Tirthankaras, or the people who would be establishing this religion. Okay, now the Jainism is somewhat completely different from the Buddhism in the belief system as well as in the philosophy. Now, however, the time period is near about the similar, but initially we'll find that the Buddhism will be getting evolved, and it was only after the fourth Buddhist council that we'll find the emergence of the Jainism. Okay, so the Buddhism is more older than the Jainism. Okay, so here let us start with our discussion with the significance of the topic. Now, this was the question which was being asked by the UPSC examination in 2018 with reference to the religious history of the India. Consider the following statement. Okay, Sautra Nitika and the Samatya were the sects of Jainism. Sarvati Vadin held the constituents of the phenomenon were not wholly momentary but existed forever in the latent form. Which of the following statements is or are correct? Okay, so here again I would say that please concentrate upon the keywords that we are discussing upon. Okay, so let us start first our discussion and let us again come towards the significance of the topic. Now, as I have said you in the initial statement only, that the Jainism was not a religion which was depending upon the idea of a single individual. It emerged slowly after the 24th Tirthankara. Okay, now the 24th Tirthankara was the Mahavira. Okay, and which was one of the last Tirthankara and the most significant Tirthankara who established major principles of this Jainism. Okay, so we'll find that the Jainisms or the Jainist people would be majorly worshipping the Mahavira. Okay, so of course there are other also Tirthankaras like Rishabhnath, where we'll find the development of art and architecture in n number of the Indian states today also. Like for example, in Maharashtra, okay, we have the statue of Ahimsa, okay, which reflects the Rishabhnath. Okay, after that we have the Muktagiri temple. Okay, so all of the 24 Tirthankaras have their own significance at their own places. Okay, but in our syllabus we majorly study the Mahavira, that is the 24th Tirthankara. Okay, now in the Buddhism we saw the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. Okay, in the similar way, here the principal knowledge would be based upon the Triratnas. Okay, that is the right faith, right conduct and the right knowledge, which was preached by the Mahavira. Okay, so Mahavira was the 24th Tirthankara who preached the Triratna or the Tri Sutra. Okay, now when we were discussing about the Magadha Empire, I have told you the literature which we got from the ancient times are divided into two forms, the Sutra and the Shastra. Okay, so here in the Jainist text also we'll term them as the Sutra. Okay, whenever there are administrative texts, those are Shastras. Okay, now after that Mahavira also dictated the 5 doctrines of the Jainism. Okay, so these doctrines were also known as Mahavratas, Panch Mahavratas. If you follow these 5 rules or the 5 principles, you would be attaining the blissful life. Okay, so here the first is you need to follow the Ahimsa. Now, what is Ahimsa? Ahimsa means non-violence, the path of non-violence. Even if you are eating your meal, even if you are doing your daily activity, you should take care that due to your actions, nobody is being hurted or nobody is being killed during this activity. Like for example, walking barefoot in the farmlands is the Ahimsa mark. Why? Because whenever we wear our foots or the shoes, okay, so in our foots, okay, that time what happens, many of the minute insects get dead, and that is why the Mahavira said that we need to follow Ahimsa mark. Okay, we need to follow the natural whatever rights are being presented to each of the being living on this earth. Okay, now after that, the second doctrine was the Satya. Okay, that is, one should not speak lie. Now see, the same is similar, or it is similar to somewhat the Eightfold Path, where the Buddhism would be talking about the right conduct, right speech. Okay, and here in the same doctrine, 5 doctrines, they would be talking about the Satya Marga. Okay, after that, Asteya. What is meant by Asteya? Asteya means we should not collect it by the wrong means. Okay, we should not steal anyone's wealth or anyone's materials. Okay, whether it is idea, whether it is material. So here again, the right conduct of the Eightfold Path. Okay, now after that, Aparigraha. Okay, that is, we need not to gather the wealth. Okay, and keep it in our hands only. So the concentration of power should be avoided. Aparigraha. After that, the Brahmacharya should be followed. Okay, that is, for a particular amount of period, it's fine, but for those monks who are having or who are following the complete path of Jainism, they need to follow the Brahmacharya. Okay, now this is like observing the continence, okay, to help in more meditative form. Okay, so here all these 5 doctrines would be open to each and every section of the society. Okay, although the Jainism will not talk against the Varna system, while Buddhism talks against the Varna system. Okay, Jainism would be silent on the dominance of the Brahmins, okay, in the Varna system. Okay, and the Buddhism would be strongly opposing this activities of the upper strata of the Varna system. Okay, so that is why we'll see that the followers of Jainism are in the larger scale. Okay, we'll see it one by one in the upcoming discussions. Okay, now just remember of this 5 doctrines, that is Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Aparigraha and Brahmacharya. Okay, now after this, there are also sects, okay, in this Jainism also. Okay, the first is Anekantavada. Now what is Anekantavada? Anek means many and Vad means debate. Now for example, you are observing a particular case in the courtroom. Okay, now you want to make justice. So what you will have? Now Buddha talks about the middle path. Okay, but here in Jainism, they will talk that each of the material or each of the challenge should be looked from the different angles and not only 2 or 3 angles. Okay, so there are Anekantavada. Okay, that is Anekantavada. Okay, so here, like if you watch, now this image is being visible in the screen, right, on the screen. So here, if you will just see, now this person is only able to look at this part of the elephant. So he's thinking that it's a larger snake. Okay, now this person, okay, this person has tied a rope on his eyes, and he has not been visibly seeing this part of the elephant. So he says that it's a spear. Okay, and this person is sitting above the ears of the elephant. Okay, so ears are continuously moving, so he's getting the cooler air. Okay, so what he's saying, I'm sitting on the fan. Okay, here this person, again we have tied the rope on the eyes of each person. So if this person is taken above from the ground level, and we have told him to touch the body of the elephant, okay, so he's thinking that it's a wall. Okay, now again this person with the closed eyes thinking that the tail of the elephant is the rope. So if we close eyes and we ask to judge a particular situation from different point of angle, we'll be able to have the conclusion in very different ways. Okay, so what does the Jainism say? Jainism says that every challenge has different perspectives. They have different views. So we should follow the Anekantavada. Okay, now this is the first one. The second one,